Now, I'll be honest, some of these weekly paying dividend ETFs, some of the ones that offer massive, massive amounts of distributions have actually become more and more attractive to me as of recent. And that's because it seems like over time, some of the ETFs are getting better and better as far as their strategy, their underlying holdings. But to be completely honest, getting paid weekly is just something I've really grown to enjoy. And that's probably because dividend investing can seem extremely boring at times, but getting more income more frequently in your portfolio is a ton of fun. Now, even though for the most part, I personally think that most of the weekly paying ETFs across the market are more or less trash, there are a few that I like a lot. So in this video, I want to share with you a few of my favorite weekly paying dividend ETFs. As of right now, at least, share what they are, what they have to offer, and what I personally see in them. So if this sort of thing interests you at all, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has already helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker, the one I use all the time on my videos, has also helped so many investors stay organized and has actually helped them see their dividend income grow. Well, today I have something even better for you guys. When you click the first link down below in my description and you grab my A to Z dividend investing ebook, today you're not only going to get the ebook, but you're also going to be getting the custom dividend tracker, which you can use to track your own dividend income ongoingly. Get direct access to my personal email where you guys can email me any questions regarding dividend investing. You're also going to receive a link to view all of my holdings inside my 7-figure dividend portfolio and see all the positions I add and take away ongoingly. And you're going to get for absolutely free my brand new high yield dividend investing ebook where I show you the power of maximizing some of these high yielding ETFs and teach you everything there is to know about that also. This is going to be your one shot to grab everything inside of one single bundle, but you got to move quick because I'm not going to offer this for long. Now with all that, let's get back into the video. Now before we go over these 3 weekly paying ETFs and I share with you guys my current favorites across the markets, I want to make something very clear. These are all very high risk, high reward names, and these names would never ever be fit to be a large portion of my personal portfolio. But I will say I do own all 3 of these names in a small fashion, and I've had a ton of fun doing so far. So the first weekly paying dividend ETF that I've been buying as of recently, a brand new one, is WPay, the weekly pay universe ETF from Roundhill. This ETF offers diversified exposure across all single stock weekly pay ETFs designed for investors targeting weekly income and amplified performance. Now this ETF is very new, it's only been trading for a matter of weeks. But as of right now, it has around an 85-86% distribution rate, and the distributions as of so far, even on the lower end of things, 51 cents per share per week, that is as high as around 85 cents per week per share. This ETF is really cranking out a ton of income for investors. Now, because I would consider myself more or less a risk-averse investor, I like the fact that this ETF offers exposure to tons of the different Roundhill individual stock weekly paying ETF names. So therefore, you get exposure to Apple stock, you also get exposure to Berkshire stock, you also get exposure to Netflix, Coin, Microsoft. It's not like you're putting all your eggs in one basket. Now, I know there are different ETFs within this basket, like the Roundhill Hood weekly pay ETF, for example, the Robinhood one that does offer a massive distribution rate, but I personally would rather take a smaller distribution rate. I mean, 82% is hardly smaller, and get a diversified exposure across plenty of different weekly pay ETFs. So the main reason I've been buying this one as of recent is just because I do want to have at least a small amount of exposure to all the different single stock weekly pay ETFs from Roundhill. Again, a very small controlled exposure. I want to do so through a diversified exposure, which this ETF does so very easily. It offers weekly distributions. They've been massive so far. And again, even though this ETF can lose value very quickly because the underlying names are pretty volatile, it's been pretty nice so far. The next ETF that I've been buying still a little bit more as of recently, I know you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy here. I do own around $10,000 altogether of ULTY, the Yield Max Ultra Option Income Strategy ETF as of right now, an ETF that is extremely risky, but still a position in my portfolio that is tiny compared to the rest of it. This ETF offers exposure to very volatile underlying names, and by doing so offers the potential for crazy amounts of weekly distributions. We're talking 88-89% distribution rate as of right now, and I've owned this one for several months. So far, it has decayed a little bit off of my average cost, but this ETF has been paying me like crazy every single week. I mean, we're talking around 9 cents per share per week, 9.1, 9.2, anywhere from 10 cents to 9 cents per share per week is at least what I've been getting paid over the past several months. And again, these distributions can go down. They can also go up. I'm not saying that this is going to keep paying 9 cents or 10 cents per share per week, but as of so far, it has been doing so. Now, my last favorite weekly payer has to be Maggie, the Magnificent 7 Covered Call ETF. This is still my favorite, the Roundhill ETF that offers exposure to the Mag 7 stocks, and then through a cover call strategy offers a ton of weekly income. With this one, we're talking 35% distribution rate. which is so funny that honestly seems kind of small compared to lots of the other weekly payers these days. But the main reason I've been buying this one like crazy, I do want to have some Mag 7 exposure in my long-term portfolio. I want it through a high income strategy. This ETF has grown over time, it has not decayed, and it's offered really consistent distributions every single week so far, 38 cents per share per week, which averages out to a ton of income because I have been stacking up more and more shares of this position. All in all, I probably would say that the Mag 7 covered call ETF from Roundhill, is probably my favorite weekly payer across all of them as of right now. Now, if you guys are still watching this video at this point, definitely drop a like down below so I can see which of you guys have watched this point, and thank you so much. But as a bonus, I had to include the Nicholas Crypto Income ETF Blocks ETF, an ETF that I've always been buying a little bit here and there as of recent. This ETF offers Bitcoin and Ether exposure, plus crypto industry companies, and then with that offers you weekly income. This ETF has offered some pretty nice juicy payouts so far, around 16 cents per share per week, probably averaged out over the last few months. Now, ETFs like Blocks and all the other ones we talked about, like I mentioned earlier, are always going to be a smaller portion compared to the rest of my portfolio just because these names offer exposure to some pretty volatile underlines. But weekly payers have been a ton of fun to add to my portfolio. It sort of gamified the investing strategy. It sort of gamifies investing and makes it a little bit more fun to look forward to, that weekly distribution every single week. Now that I share with you guys some of my favorite weekly payers across the entire market, I lastly, most importantly, have a question for you down below. When it comes to weekly paying ETFs, what's your number one favorite ETF across the entire market as of right now? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like in it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.